In the beginning of the film, we see an amazing chef named Sky. Sky cooks such incredible food that people come from far and wide to taste his dishes. People wait in long lines to eat his food. Sky's restaurant becomes so famous that media personnel often come to interview him. Essentially, Sky uses traditional techniques, which make his food very delicious. Everyone is amazed by Sky's cutting skills and cooking artistry. But behind becoming such a great chef lies a heart-wrenching past, which we learn through a flashback. Sky was passionate about cooking since childhood, and his father was a very good chef. When Sky was just 10 years old, his father, Mr. Ko, used to scold him a lot. He would say, "You've grown so big, but you still don't know how to make noodles. You can never become a good chef." Then, to advance his own cooking career, Mr. Ko leaves Sky alone and goes away. Although Sky waits for his father for a long time, his father never returns. After his father left, Sky became very lonely and traumatized. That very day, Sky vowed that one day he would become the world's best chef. Then we're shown that Sky's father has become a very famous master chef in China. He has many titles and honors. In China, he is also called the God of Cooking. But even after all these years, Sky's father never told anyone that he has a son. Because of this, Sky hates his father intensely. What kind of father leaves his young child alone to build his career? Later, we see that when media people want to taste Sky's food for a report, Sky tells them, "All customers are equal to me, so you'll have to stand in line too to taste the food." Just then, a man breaks the line and enters the restaurant. Seeing this, Sky asks him to get in line. Hearing this, the man gets very angry and says, "For renovation, your restaurant will be closed for a few months. Then I will throw you out of here." Hearing this, Sky throws him out of his restaurant. On the other hand, a famous and handsome chef named Paul is shown. Paul only cooks for famous and royal families. Paul also has a girlfriend named Mayo, who is his assistant chef. The royal family of France is very happy with Paul's cooking. Seeing all this, a big French company wanted to hire Paul as their head chef, but Paul rejected their offer because he wants to fulfill his father's dream and open his own restaurant in China. Then we see Paul returning to China and going to the market to buy fish. He goes to a shop and asks for the biggest fish, but the shopkeeper tells him he doesn't have any big fish. A little later, Sky comes to that shop, and the shopkeeper takes out and gives the big fish to Sky. Seeing this, Paul gets very angry. Actually, Sky was a regular customer of that shopkeeper, so the shopkeeper lied to Paul. When the shopkeeper gives the fish to Sky, Paul stops him. Seeing this, the shopkeeper cuts the big fish in half and says, "You both take half each." After this, we see Paul opening his restaurant with great pomp. Customers start going to his restaurant after seeing its opening. Its interior is very good and decorated with expensive furniture, but the problem is that Sky's restaurant is right opposite Paul's restaurant. Seeing all the customers going to Paul's restaurant, Sky's friend comes out and announces a 50% discount on all food at the restaurant for the day. Hearing this offer, all the customers rush towards Sky's restaurant. Paul doesn't like this at all, and a fight breaks out between Sky's friends and Paul's people. When Sky and Paul come face to face, people around suggest they should have a cooking competition. At first, both are unwilling, but after everyone insists, they agree. A fish cutting competition begins in the middle of the street. First, Paul starts showing his skill, gently removing each bone from the fish. After removing the bones, he throws the fish towards Sky. Sky catches it beautifully and starts cutting it into the right shape. He very quickly and uniquely separates the fish skin from the meat. Seeing both their talents, everyone present starts clapping. Then, Paul's main guest tells them that both of them can participate in an international cooking competition. Saying this, he asks both Sky and Paul to shake hands. Later, an interview of Paul is shown where he says, "People in China are still living in the Stone Age and have no education about modern cooking. That's why I returned from France to China, to teach them modern cooking." Meanwhile, Sky is sitting in his restaurant watching this interview and gets very angry because Paul said all these things targeting Sky. In another interview, Mr. Ko is asked about Sky because their surnames were the same and they look similar. Hearing all this, Mr. Ko gets very angry and says, "I don't have any son." One day, Paul's girlfriend, Mayo, comes and invites Sky to dinner at their restaurant. Sky accepts the invitation and goes with his girlfriend to eat at Paul's restaurant. She serves Sky two dishes, one made with eggs and another that looks like a plant and mushroom. The egg dish is very tasty, and the fancy plant-like dish has water poured over it, making the food rise up. Then Mayo says to Sky, "You must have never seen food like this before. This is a special fruit dish for which Paul also won an award." Hearing this, Sky goes to the kitchen and gets very angry with Paul. He says to Paul, "Do you want to show that you are a better chef than me?" In response, Paul, without saying anything, asks Sky to cook. Sky agrees and cooks in the traditional way in Paul's kitchen. But Paul prepares the same dish in much less time using modern techniques and asks Sky to taste it. Sky looks at Paul's dish and understands that Paul has made a very good dish, so Sky leaves without saying anything. After Sky leaves, Paul also tastes the dish made by Sky and becomes very happy. But Sky, feeling sad, goes and sits in his restaurant. He remembers his father's last words when his father said, "You can never become a good chef." On the other hand, Sky's father meets his friend, Mr. Hong. In childhood, Sky's father had left Sky with his friend Hong. Mr. Hong is also a chef who took care of Sky and taught him cooking. Sky's father tells Hong that he wants to meet Sky, so Hong calls Sky and asks him to come. Sky comes there and sees his father there. Sky is very shocked to see his father after so many years. Then Mr. Ko asks Sky something, but Sky stops him and says, "I am not your son. You said that yourself in the interview, right?" Hearing this, Mr. Ko tells him, "Look at me. I am a successful man. I have even won the award for the world's best chef twice. But you are just a chef of a small restaurant in an old alley, nothing more. So first, prove yourself." Hearing this, Sky gets very angry and says, "I will prove myself, but you don't need to be ruthless to be successful. Being successful doesn't mean being arrogant, and that small chef from the old alley will be the best in the world, but not arrogant." Saying this, Sky leaves. Then the cooking competition begins. Judges are present to choose the best chef. We also see some of Sky's friends who are very happy about this. First, we see Sky cooking. Sky demonstrates a technique to separate chicken meat without removing its skin, amazing all the spectators and judges. Then Sky starts cooking in his own style. On the other hand, Paul is cooking in a modern style and prepares a sweet dish in very little time. Paul finishes cooking before the allotted time and presents his dish to the judges. Meanwhile, Sky is cooking in his traditional style, so he takes the full competition time. Afterwards, the judges taste his food. Both dishes are equally delicious. When the results are announced, both get equal points, but someone has to be declared the winner. Then one judge comes on stage and says, "Cooking is an art, and this work has to be done within a set time. But Paul prepared his dish before time. Therefore, Paul is declared the winner of today's competition." Hearing this, Sky's heart breaks, and he becomes very sad. Mr. Ko is also watching this program from his home. Losing the competition breaks Sky so much that he doesn't return home for many days. He leaves all work and starts spending his days playing video games. One day, Mr. Hong comes to him and starts playing video games with Sky. Then Sky wins the game. Mr. Hong tells Sky, "Winning or losing is common. Losing doesn't mean you can never win again. You should prepare to win ahead." Here, we learn that Mr. Hong is the owner of Sky's restaurant, and he picked up all the staff from the streets and helped them stand on their feet. He loves them all so much that he hasn't even gotten married because of them. We then see Paul and his associates partying for his win, but soon Paul's partner tells him something that completely disappoints Paul. He tells Paul that in the next round of the cooking competition, there will be 2 people in a team. Therefore, in the next round, Mayo will be the main chef, and you will be her assistant, because she's very beautiful, which will make our restaurant more famous. Hearing all this, Paul says, "Mayo is just my assistant. She doesn't have the skill to compete." Just then, Mayo also comes with 2 soups and places them in front of Paul. Then she asks Paul to taste and tell which one has more salt. Hearing this, Paul is shocked because he realizes that Mayo has revealed his secret. Paul can cook very well, but he lacks the ability to taste. Then she also takes Paul's recipe book and says, "Anyone can cook like you through this book, so we don't need you anymore." Then another partner of Paul says, "Mayo is not your girlfriend anymore because she loves me." Then Mayo tells Paul, "Did you really think I stayed with you for so long just because I loved you? You were wrong. I always wanted to participate in the international competition, and now I have got that chance." Hearing these words from Mayo, Paul is deeply shocked. So he leaves crying and starts drinking alcohol sitting by the roadside. Sky is passing by and sees him sitting there. He goes to him and asks, "Are you coming to the competition or are you drinking on the road like this?" Then Paul tells him the whole truth, that he lacks the ability to taste and what his partners did to him. Then Paul, looking at a poster of Mr. Ko, says, "This man is my inspiration. I want to become a great master chef like him one day." Hearing this, Sky also tells Paul his secret and says, "The man in this picture is my father." Although Paul doesn't believe Sky at first, when Sky tells his whole story, Paul believes that Sky is telling the truth. Then Sky also says, "This man is very selfish. I want to win a big competition and show him that I am also a better chef." Then they both try to lessen their sorrow by throwing a glass bottle at Mr. Ko's poster, and in this way, they become good friends. Then we see that Paul's partners go to Sky's restaurant because, along with the man shown at the beginning of the story, whom Sky had thrown out, they have bought Sky's restaurant. They tell Mr. Hong to vacate the restaurant as soon as possible, because very soon this restaurant will be demolished and a new building will be built here. Hearing this, all the people there get very angry. Just then, Sky and Paul also arrive. Seeing his partner, Paul tells him, "I will not take Maya with me to the next round of the competition. Instead, my partner will be Sky." Hearing this, they say, "If you don't do as we say, we will ruin your career." Hearing this, Paul gets very angry and hits his partner hard, breaking his nose. Seeing such brave action from Paul and Sky together, everyone present becomes very happy. From the next day, we see both of them preparing for the cooking competition together. They help each other in cooking. Sky teaches Paul the art of traditional cooking, and Paul teaches Sky his modern cooking. Sky also teaches Paul how to taste food, and Mr. Hong also helps them both. Then it is shown that the international cooking competition has begun. Many famous chefs from other countries have also come to participate. When the competition starts, everyone starts cooking in their own style. Mayo is also seen there. Then the food is cooked within a set time and presented to the judges. They taste the food. When the results come, surpassing everyone, Sky and Paul are selected for the final round. Hearing this, they both become very happy. The judges are also very happy with their food and say that very few people in the world can cook the food made by Sky and Paul correctly. Then they both sit and talk about the next round, but the problem is that according to the competition rules, only one of them can go forward against Mr. Ko. And Sky says, "Paul, I have full faith in you. I know you can defeat Mr. Ko, my father." But Paul says, "In the final round of the competition, not me, but you will go against Mr. Ko, because Sky should face his father and show him that an ordinary chef from the streets can become the best in the world." Paul says, "Without understanding taste, I have come this far. This itself is a big victory for me." Paul motivates Sky a lot, and finally, Sky agrees to go to the final round. Then comes the day when Sky will stand before his father and compete. The rule of this round was that within 1 hour, both could make any dish of their choice. Mr. Ko starts cooking, but Sky just stands there. He starts remembering incidents from his childhood. Actually, when he was a child, after his father left, the neighborhood children used to trouble him a lot, but his friends would save him. Sky's thinking about all this when Mr. Ko sees Sky standing quietly and throws water on his face, saying, "Instead of daydreaming, start cooking, because I want to see what you can do." Then Sky also starts cooking with full concentration. On the other hand, Mr. Ko is also cooking perfectly and prepares his dish within an hour. Mr. Ko makes a sweet dish that is very delicious and looks very good. Then, as always, the judges taste his dish. But instead of presenting his dish to the judges, Sky presents it before his father, Mr. Ko. Actually, Sky had made noodles which he couldn't make despite thousands of attempts in childhood. In childhood, his father used to tell him, "If you can't make simple noodles, then you don't deserve to call me father." But today, Sky made the noodles perfectly and stood before his father. He gives the bowl of noodles to his father and starts to leave. Meanwhile, Mr. Ko, after eating those noodles, becomes very happy and tells Sky, "I have never eaten such good noodles before." Hearing this, Sky smiles and leaves, meaning he didn't come to win this competition. He only came to prove himself before his father. That small chef from the alley can cook at an international level. After Sky leaves, Mr. Ko, becoming emotional like crazy, starts eating those noodles and realizes how much Sky must have missed him in childhood, and how the boy who couldn't cook has now become such a good chef. Seeing Mr. Ko emotional, the judges and everyone understand that Sky is indeed Mr. Ko's lost son. Finally, we see that people are gathering at Sky's restaurant as before. Sky and his friends are serving food to everyone,
and now Paul has also joined his restaurant. Just then, Mr. Hong stands up and tells everyone, "Our restaurant has completed 30 years today. With everyone's trust and faith, we have crossed 30 years. Our goal has always been to serve you delicious food at affordable prices. The government has not given permission to close our restaurant, and we have bought this place from them so that in the future, too, you people can continue to get such delicious food as a gift." Hearing Mr. Hong's words, all the people present become very happy, and the film ends here.